Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 14, text number 33. Ko Vainam Parichakshita Venam Ekam Rite Ashubham Prapta Idrisham Aishwaryam Yadanugraha Bhajanaha. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. But for King Vena, who is simply inauspicious, who would blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose mercy one is awarded all kinds of fortune and opulence. Purport. The human society, individually or collectively, becomes godless and blasphemes the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's certainly destined for ruination. Upon a civilization, such a civilization invites all kinds of bad fortune due to not appreciating the mercy of the Lord. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So here the sages are stating how foolish this King Vena is. But for King Vena, so inauspicious he is. That means no one will be like Vena, blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose mercy one is awarded all kinds of fortune and opulence. So in this episode of King Vena, we come to learn so many things with respect to the functioning of this material world itself. It is not that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not the main source of maintaining this material world, and through his agents creating and destroying also. Normally when we keep on hearing that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental, is beyond the three modes of material nature, and is aloof from the material world, we tend to think that Krishna is not connected. Aloof means not connected with this world. And this world, even though it is Krishna's, it is automatically running by his arrangement, which is not an accurate understanding. No doubt everything is his arrangement. Everything is running according to his arrangement. That is indirect control of the Supreme Lord of this material world. The correct understanding is that the Lord is simultaneously, directly and indirectly in control of everything in this material world. If he is aloof from the material world, then he would just leave everything without interfering. But he does interfere. Yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat abhyuthanam adharmasya sambhavami yuge yuge. The Lord intervenes into this material world. He comes into this material world. And then he is active. In this case, you see, his intervention is seen through the sages who found King Vena unfit to rule this material world. And therefore they decided to kill him. In the material world, when we see in this material world, lot of adharmic things going on, like killing of cows, or so many, all the four vices: no intoxication, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling. This is intensifying in the society, means it is building up the storage or the collection of papa karma. There is a build-up of papa karma. When there is build-up of papa karma, automatically there is inauspiciousness in that kingdom. As Prabhupada says, collectively, when human society individually or collectively becomes godless and blasphemes the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it's not that it doesn't have a reaction. Blaspheming the Supreme Lord has a reaction. The Lord may tolerate, but devotees don't tolerate. The world currently appears to be godless. Appears as if God is not coming in to set things right. No, this material world is a free place for living entities for executing their fruitive activities, which is all bona fide according to Vedas. You engage in fruitive activities. Your results will be given by me, who is seated in the heart of everyone. But when the living entity misuses this material energy beyond what he is individually licensed to be a karmi, when you go beyond that, then you become a big disturbance to the society. And then when that burden increases in one form or the other, bad fortune hits the society, and often the entire civilization may collapse. The modern world appears to be making advancement. But advancement means people should be happy, even materially happy. Leave aside spiritual happiness, materially happy. But today, there is apparently progress in the society in terms of science, technology, India is getting richer and richer. Which is essential. Prosperity of a society is very essential. Economic prosperity is essential. But that cannot be at the cost of breaking the laws of nature, which is nothing but the laws of God, the laws of living, that is called dharma. At the cost of breaking those laws, or at the cost of ignoring those laws, one tries to increase his quality of life by increasing sense gratification. Then, individually and collectively, there will be calamity. So we don't have to see, we don't have to think that where is God, all nonsense is going on, nothing is happening to them. It will happen because we are in a time scale, very small time scale compared to the time scale even of demigods. Even demigods, their lifespan is life duration experience, the experience duration of life. 1 year of ours is 1 day of the devatas. One day a year. Here people celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi. That one day, that is once in a day of Ganesh in the heavenly planet. One time is there. At that time, people are worshipping Ganesh. 1 century is 100 years. 100 years is only 3 months. So the devatas are also discussing, no yajna is coming. 3 mahine ho gaya. Or say 200 years. Last 6 months, no yajna is coming from the human beings on the earth. So for them it is a small time. The result of not performing yajna as prescribed by, as per the arrangement made by the Supreme Lord. As he says in the Bhagavad Gita, perform yajna and then be happy. All yajnas ultimately are the beneficiary. Bhuktaram yajna tapasam. He is the Supreme Lord. Because he has prescribed these yajnas for the human society, for those who are fruity. That also is not being performed. Reaction will come. So on this earth, a civilization lasting, modern civilization, you can say it has lasted 200 years. What is modern civilization? After industrial revolution, see the whole world it is a different kind of a civilization. Rapid change in the society. And now artificial intelligence, all this advancement that we see now, this is a technological revolution. So a period where there is last 200 years, lot of opportunities for sense gratifications. has come about, and if this makes this society godless, then there will be calamity. So, if the devotees of the Lord are active in preaching, they are performing the highest sacrifice, Sankirtana, then all these bad effects will get nullified. And more devotees surrender to the will of the Lord. They live the life according to His wish. They all become dharmatmas, devotees, obedient. They are living a life obedient to the Supreme Lord. Is also pious life. And it is mentioned that the normal yajnas are not possible in this Kali Yuga. What is prescribed in the Vedas. Those yajnas, obviously you don't see them existing now, because there are no brahmanas even to perform those yajnas. Brahmanas have given up their job and become big software brains, intelligent or scientific researchers. They have become all that. There is no status in the society for someone who is experienced in the Shastras and guides the Kshatriyas, guides the rulers. All that is not, obviously it is not existing. That system has collapsed. So unless the Sankirtana, which is the alternative to all this, spreads in the society, it is so potent, even a small 1% of the population become devotees and practice Sankirtana. They can purify the other 99%. So sometimes people say, you sadhus are not doing any work. You have left your work. You are a burden to the society. Society is feeding you. But actually the fact is that 1% who engage in Sankirtana, because of them everything is going on, they are also eating. You have to have faith in these principles. This prosperity in the world, because today everywhere, all over the world, Sankirtana is happening. In some part of the country or some part of the world, somewhere, Mangalarti is going on. That means on the earth there is continuous Sankirtana going on. Bangalore was very small. After Krishna Balram came to the Hare Krishna hill in 1987, royally at the topmost point in Bangalore he came. Nobody has house there like that, like Krishna Balram in Bangalore. Highest point. They came, resided, and devotees performed Sankirtana Yajna. And in spite of so much of atheism and everything, because of the Sankirtana, there is even material prosperity here. That's a fundamental principle. Otherwise, we cannot explain. Nobody is performing yajna, other kind of yajna that the human society is supposed to perform. How will it, why it should prosper? That means some yajna is, powerful yajna is going on by a few people. This yajna is so powerful, as I said, 1% does, 99% gets benefit. That is Sankirtana yajna. So if there has to be peace and prosperity in this world, Sankirtana has to spread. As Prabhupada said, simply each family spend 15 minutes in the evening or in the morning. All family members sit together and chant Hare Krishna and close, and then do this. It will change the whole world. So actually the Vaishnavas are doing their highest welfare activity, materially and spiritually. Materially and spiritually. Because he is the Supreme Personality of God and Krishna. Krishna Sankirtana you do, Krishna blesses, then everything will prosper. Ye tamam prapadyante tam satye tate bhajami aham. Tataiva bhajami aham. As you surrender, I reciprocate. Bring more and more Krishna conscious, God consciousness into the society, then he will reciprocate. If you don't want him, then purely your karma will work. If purely today karma works, the world cannot sustain it all. Millions and millions of cows are killed every day. As per the law of karma, how can such a world sustain? It has to suffer and suffer and suffer, and civilization has to destroy. On the other hand, when more and more Sankirtana is performed, people's intelligence becomes clearer. People today are becoming more and more vegetarians. More and more people are becoming, there is at least a great awareness in terms of health itself, and they don't want to take non-veg. So consciousness also gets influenced, it changes. Collective consciousness. Just like Bhaktivedanta Thakur said that when Jagannath Das Babaji was sitting and chanting, he was purifying the collective consciousness of the world. They were preachers. Don't think Jagannath Das Babaji, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji were not preachers. Preacher means one who has got compassion upon the suffering souls. They did not sit in one place and chant for their salvation. They were already pure devotees of the Lord in full Krishna consciousness. They continued the tapasya in this world for the improvement of the consciousness, collective consciousness. And Bhaktivedanta Thakur continued, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur continued. And Prabhupada also reaped the fruit of all that the great acharyas in the parampara contributed in terms of gradual influence of the society. So much so that today it's very easy for us to go and preach. Just like we have so many youths, we preach, they join. It's not easy. Already groundwork has been done. Prabhupada set up so many temples like this. These temples bring so much of influence of this Sankirtana in the hearts of the people. Everything that goes on in Prabhupada's mission in this temple is connected to Sankirtana, is connected to chanting, is connected to the holy name of the Lord. Because Kalikale Nama Rupa Krishna Avatara. Krishna has taken Avatara. And what is the purpose of Avatara? That in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says. He is for the benefit of this world, to purify the world. For the benefit of the world only Avatara comes. For the common man. So today's Sankirtana movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is for everyone, for the common man. Among them, some may become very serious. That is a different matter. Everyone may not be blessed to get that opportunity to be 24 hours serving the Lord. So the purpose of the movement is to spread this influence of Sankirtana to every home, every town and village. And Prabhupada had that vision that if there are temples in every town and village, then they act as the nucleus around which the homes can become temples. So very big task is ahead of the devotees. And if the world, Krishna consciousness is not spreading in this world, in one book of Prabhupada, Perfection, Renunciation through Wisdom, Prabhupada says that we Vaishnavas should be guilty of neglect of our duty, or should be guilty of not sufficiently endeavoring to give this mercy of Lord Chaitanya to the population. Solution is there. For prosperity, peace and happiness of the material world itself, solution is there. We have to work for it. So, we started discussing by saying that the Krishna consciousness is not something that has no connection with this world. We want to go back to Godhead. This world will go on like this. No, in this world it will go on like this. It's created for those who do not want to be devotees. But in this world also there is a system which is under the control of the Supreme Lord. There is nowhere where, spiritual world or material world, where Krishna is the foundation of both. Krishna is a foundation of both. Krishna consciousness means becoming conscious of Krishna's supreme loving egoism. You should feel Krishna's, when you read Bhagavad Gita, you will feel Krishna's ego, supreme, absolute ego of Krishna. Becoming Krishna conscious means becoming conscious of his ego. The best place where you can get a feel of his ego is Bhagavad Gita. Simply read all the verses with the word aham and mam. Aham, mam, me. You read those verses, you become Krishna conscious. Any questions? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाए, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जाए।